Hi guys, welcome back. It's midweek, so we've got some high water about 12:30, and we've got a storm coming. So it's coming from stern, so that's what's that. It's coming from the east, but it's absolutely howling at the moment. It's not very nice, but I'm going to do a few jobs. Poor sailboat over there, its sails come out and it's flapping out like mad. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens when the water comes in. I've been doing some little repairs because the doors were blowing open and all the water was coming in. So basically I've had to put these in and put like little catches in. Let's take it outside. Been putting some extra reinforcements on the roof. It's pretty solid, to be honest with you, but just a precaution. So I'm going to go and make a brew, I think. So tide's coming in, looking a bit unsettled. Wish me luck. One thing in my life that makes me nervous, apart from Gemma, is wind, and it's howling. But so the water's coming in. We'll be floating soon, so I'll just keep you updated because I've done as much as I can. I've put some new lines out. I've reattached, but the weather's like whipping up. So yeah, I've got my dinner on. I've got the engines prepped to run, just in case I need to put it in reverse or something like that to sort of keep some tension off the lines. That sailboat over there keeps flipping from side to side, poor thing. Yeah, hopefully it survives. But yeah, it's brutal, absolutely brutal. But I've got the heating on. Still a bit chilly like, because we've got about 1 million gaps in the boat, but yeah, it should be good. So we're now officially floating, and it's quite stormy, but I didn't really realise at first. She's so dormant. She moves so slowly from port to starboard. But the only reason I could tell is that the lines have gone tight, so you can see like this line here. But so she keeps moving. The stern keeps moving over a bit, then the wind goes away and she comes back, and it's pretty amazingly stable. We've got another half an hour until we reach absolute high tide, and then yeah. I'm sure it moved quite a bit then, didn't she? Got some big lines, pretty secure. So I've got both engines running. Why not? We're floating. Nothing much to do apart from like So I've got the port side engine in reverse at the moment. I'm just going to give it all the mud a good wash into it and stuff like that, but it's just when I click reverse it's taking a load off this line, the line out there. So we'll just leave it in idle and in reverse for a while. I could do both engines, but it seems to put a lot of tension on the front lines then, so yeah, it's going well, it's good. Keep getting blown around a bit. Got a little angle meter. Kind of moves like a degree or two side to side, so you can tell more on the level. Getting blown a little bit, but we know the levels are very, very sensitive, so. But yeah, it's all good. The sailboat's holding up well. One out there is holding up good. Well, a good look around, all the other boats look okay, so I think we're at the peak of the water now, so that's good. Go and check the engines. Sound good. passenger. No heat in it really. We've probably been running for about half an hour now. Temperatures are brilliant. It's almost only on idle, but it sounds nice now. Definitely got to radiate some heat later. Back upstairs. Probably doesn't look bad to you guys, but you gotta think like we're quite new to this big boat malarkey. We'd usually like put it on the trail and hide away at this time of year, so but it's not really an option with Sarinda, is it? So it's going good. I'm now running the starboard prop now in reverse, so we'll have a look at it, shall we? Gearbox sounds amazing. Slight bit of heat now. But good, very good. Can't wait to actually get underway. You can just feel the sort of, she wants to move, you basically stick her in gear and she's like, the engines sound gorgeous and it's just beautiful. Anyway, tides are high. Hopefully the tide's on the change now. All the other boats look okay. Just be devastating. Be devastating if like someone come down, the boat's gone. What would you do? Where would you start looking? Don't know. But yeah, I mean this boat over here got washed up. Not the one with the blue stripe, the one behind it got washed up last week because we had high water, high winds, and that just appeared. Apparently the guys from Blackpool, I think he was keeping it down there, but they were trying to get it out, but there wasn't enough water, so I think they have to wait for a lot of water to get that moved back. Anyway, back to me watch. So the weather's calmed down a lot now. It's probably still about 20 mile an hour wind, but it's not really phasing at that. Lines have slackened off. So I keep showing you through the window, but it sees me going outside and it's toasty there. Engines, absolutely amazing. Obviously they're only on idle, had them in reverse. Probably had them in reverse about an hour, kept stable temperature. They got up to temperature, it was about 70 degrees on the temperature gauge. Yeah, hopefully we land nice. Because as I say, we don't usually get the wind from the stern, so it's usually from the nose, so sometimes we land a bit crooked, but hopefully we don't push too far forward. I'm going to put a bit more weight on the lines at the back just to keep us back. But yeah, it's all good. Nothing to panic about. So the weather's calmed down massively now. Even the sun started to poke its little head out. Still don't think we'll be making much solar. The wind charger's been doing a good job today. So yeah, it's good. We're not far off landing, but the weather's calm. The lines are good. I can always tell by the angle of the lines and stuff like that to know roughly our position, so hopefully we'll land nice. Obviously I've been running the engines and been in gear, so we've been moving. Hopefully we've not made a right mess underneath. Hopefully we've given it a nice good wash. So the storm has passed. We're sat, I think 1 degree to start the starboard side, but we usually sit on the port side, so you don't really notice a degree when you're walking around. Anyway, so the past few weeks I've been spending quite a bit of time at the boat. I've been taking a day off each week at work, but I've not been filming, so I thought I'll just share what I've been doing because it's usually a lot easier to do without filming, but when I'm on my own. Anyway, blah blah blah. So I fitted 3 new radiators. So we've got a big radiator here, because obviously we got the heating system working anyway, and all the electronically controlled part of it. So I've fitted another radiator here. This is in like the upper saloon area, and we've also fitted a smaller one. Oh God, can't really see it. We've also fitted another radiator in the workshop. I'm just drying out these at the moment because I've got them wet, but yeah, so the whole boat is really toasty. So I'll show you a couple of little things I've done to the boiler, because I was struggling to control the actual heat, because the room thermostat is usually what controls the temperature, but because we've got holes everywhere and leaks and stuff, it's hard to get the room up to temperature. At the moment now it's actually regulating on the room thermostat, but I was noticing like the heat being generated by the boiler coming out here, it was getting very hot. So initially I was controlling it from a cylinder thermostat. So I had a cylinder thermostat. I made a bracket up here, but the temperature variation, so let's say I set it to 80 degrees, so coming out of the boiler at 80 degrees, I thought that was quite safe, and it was clicking off 80, then it wouldn't come back until 40, so I couldn't really work that out. So I've now gone for an electric, this is 92 by the way, like an electric thermostat now. So that follow this wire down, that is just taped around the pipe at the moment. It's a bit hot. So the water's still circulating around the system. So when that drops below, I think got it set to 74 to kick back in, it'll then basically trigger the burner, and then because the burner generates mega amount of heat, but it was hard to dissipate the heat, so hence the new radiators now. So I've put ourselves a little pressure gauge down here. I've also put a low pressure sensor, so the low pressure sensor, so obviously if we burst a pipe or something like that, that'll basically switch the system off. Fingers crossed anyway. So yeah, so good. I just need to now basically tidy up all the wires, secure the pipes, because obviously they're just sort of hanging at the moment, and then we need to put a box around all this. So I've actually got the original casings at work, but they're a bit ratty, so I might make some posh ones, so at least from the outside it'll look pretty posh. So when we were floating earlier, I was what do you call it, messing about. I was operating the steering anyway. It was a bit like a bit notchy, and I was a bit wary of it. It'd be a lot better when Jem is here or someone else is here, so they can be in the engine room. But I'll just come down and then to the drive belt for the hydraulic pump. Maybe that explains the notchiness. And as well, the alternator on the port engine. I was gonna adjust the belt on it, because I've not been that fussed about charging batteries, but then if you look at the alignment, can you see that? Maybe, I don't know. It's just horrific. And the way the alternator's been mounted, look. Yeah, I'll just take the bolt out to so that wants addressing. I might adjust the belt now, so next time we're floating and we're running. Yeah, and another problem with the port engine is the heater plugs weren't working. So when I came to start it earlier, it struggled. So fine, now let's test to see if we've got 24 volts at the heater plugs. That was a negative. So I rigged a wire to it, drew quite a bit of current across the heater plugs, and then it just fired up straight away. So I need to investigate why they're not working. So maybe I'll have a quick tinker around with that now and have a look. So I'm going to try and adjust the I'm going to say power steering pump then, the steering hydraulic pump belt. So it's basically adjusted on these They're not the prettiest, are they? So let's see if we can get those undone. Oh yeah. That noise you can hear, by the way, is the burner for the heating. So have a quick glance at that, shall we? You can see like the numbers, you can't see on there. So it's down to 56 degrees, that's interesting. So then it'll bring it back up to about 84 now. Cool. It is actually really warm in the boat now. I'm a bit concerned about the fuel and how much fuel we're burning, so maybe at some point I need to actually try and calculate the fuel load we've got on the boat at the moment. So obviously I don't mind burning all off on the heating, because then we can bring new over for when we want to move. So it gets rid of the fuel, doesn't it, I suppose. So I think it'd be daft now to basically not clean this up, wouldn't it? Considering this is away, this one's away, so we may as well give all this a bit of a spruce. And also I want to learn how to use the rust stuff. I need to read the instructions, so we might give it a quick grind up and give it like a rust treatment, because I don't actually know what I'm doing with that. So we don't need this old battery isolator. Alrighty. Yay. Okay, so I'm gonna scrape it all off, give it like get as much of the corrosion off as we can, and then we'll put some rust treats on it. Rust converter, is that what it's called? Yeah, we'll give it a go now. So I'm going to attack it first with my grinder with a little flappy wheel. Not a flappy wheel, it's like a sandpaper, but it says it's 24 grit. That's more like 10, doesn't it? But hey, it's like a house brick spinning round. So let's give this a whirl. So I've got my mask. Is that how you wear it? Don't know. Give it a try. Right, so we'll let the dust settle, we'll go and read the instructions, and then we'll come back. So I've just come upstairs to like, while the dust is settling, and then, you know like a good moon shot, don't you? Beautiful. So here's the rust inhibitor we're using. I think it was kindly donated to us by somebody from Amazon. No, it was actually sent through the post, so I'm quite glad to actually be using it. So it's that stuff. So I've read the instructions. It says leave the rust film on, well, we'll remove that. But then it says apply, paint it on, leave it for 24 hours. So we'll go downstairs, we'll paint it on, and then we'll leave it till next time we're here. So we can always recoat. So let's give it a try. Should have got a bigger brush. You wouldn't want me to paint your boat, would you? Okay, so apparently you leave that now, and it'll dry, and then we can always reapply a coat, and then we can paint that, can't we? I wonder what colour we're going to paint it. So, as I was saying earlier, there was no heater plugs on this engine. I was expecting a relay or the low current feed from here, so you can basically hear these relays clicking. So basically got two relays. Not sure why there's two, but maybe backup maybe. But it turns out it's just the supply, the high current supply to the relays. So these big fat wires here, all they do is loop down there, and down they go up there, back down there, and to the starter post. We've got 24 volts here, but not here. So it's this connection, if you can see it in there. So we need to replace these wires basically going to there. So next time I come, I'll bring some nice, what is it, 16mm cable, and then we'll replace them. Alright, so we've weathered a storm today. We've run the engines for a very long period, which is been wanting to do that for a long time. So they've actually been under low, well, not under low, but turning the props at least. So there've been no nasty surprises, which is good. Yeah, what else have we done? Prepared the, I keep going to call it the power steering pump. It's not the power steering pump, it's the steering pump. Diagnosed why the port engine doesn't start very well. It's because the heater plugs, basically none. So I'm amazed it's ever started. But yeah, all good. So thank you very much for watching. Please tune in next time. See you later. Thanks. Bye.
If you see what we can see, then adventure waits for all of us. There's a place that we should be.